Do you like the animes? Do you want to know which ones I like? Well, you're in the right place. Hi guys, welcome back, bienvenue and all that jazz. It's time to talk about, well, not books, but things based on books. So whatever. We're here to talk my 5 favorite anime series of all time that I personally have watched. My really big anime days are similar to my really big manga days. So if you didn't know, I recently put a video out of my 5 favorite manga series that I've ever read. I'll link that wherever if you want to see what's on that list. But as far as my 5 favorite anime, basically all of them are from like the 90s and 2000s. So I'm old. Whatever, get over it. So let's just jump right into it. I own 4 of the series that I'm going to talk about today, and one of them I don't. So we'll talk about the one that I do not own first. And that would be... that would be Yu-Gi-Oh! I friggin' loved this show growing up, and I've rewatched it with my husband since, I don't remember, like 1 or 2 years ago probably. We watched all 5 seasons that there are. So good. So if somehow you don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, it is like that magical card game situation. So basically our main character, Yugi, has put together this ancient item called the Millennium Puzzle, and when doing so, he now can share his body with this ancient Egyptian pharaoh's spirit. And basically the crux of this series is that in ancient Egypt, there was this magical game where wizards and sorcerers could battle each other using these magical monsters that they could summon from a different dimension. And so that game has been kind of recreated in modern times as like a trading card game. And so the series, basically you go through these different tournaments, and in these different tournaments you learn different things about what had happened back in the ancient Egyptian times. And you just get to follow Yugi and his friends, Joey, and all the good people. Tristan, I think her name's Tara. Wow, my memory is going, but so good. And the intro video, at least to the like English dubbed version, because I am a heathen and I do listen to basically only dubbed, but shh, it's okay. But like it's time to duel, like yes, oh. If somehow you've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're really into like Egyptian mythology and you kind of like that like old school like battle anime type stuff where they're like in tournaments all the time, go watch it and then come back here and let me know how much you liked it, because you're welcome. So we'll just keep trucking along. One of my next favorite series, so I somehow missed this when it was originally coming out. I knew it existed, but I didn't watch it. But my husband loved it, and so I got the series for him for some Christmas or something like 13, 14 years ago, and we watched it together and have recently rewatched the entire series, and that is Inuyasha. So if you don't know, this is basically the anime equivalent of, there's like that recent trilogy that came out where there's like a kitsune and like a samurai or whatever, and they travel around and it's very like Japanese mythology. That's basically Inuyasha. So we have Inuyasha himself, who is this half demon who helps his friend Kagome, who accidentally blows apart this Shikon jewel, which is this ancient magical jewel that basically, if whoever gets it, it will grant their wish, if they can have the entire jewel to themselves. And so she accidentally shatters it into a bunch of different shards. And so when demons have hold of these shards, they have increased power. And so they basically travel around the feudal Japanese era to try to regather the shards of the Shikon jewel to put it back together. And there are many demons who are trying to collect it for nefarious purposes. And it's also kind of portal fantasy because, I mean, not kind of, it is. Because Kagome is from like modern day Tokyo, and she can transition into the feudal era of Japan by jumping through something called the Bone Eater's Well. It does have very slow burn romance. It has tons of Japanese mythological creatures. It is very stereotypical 90s anime. There are a ton of filler episodes, but I still love it. And so do you. And there is all the adorable goodness. There is the tiny little fox demon Shippo. We have Kilala, this adorable, she can transition between being this like tiny little adorable like wolf cub, and then she can expand and can fly. And there's the demon hunters, there's ancient priestesses, there's everything you could ever want. So if you have never watched Inuyasha, I worry for you, but also you should fix that ASAP, because I mean, come on. I don't want to say that a lot of the things that I like is because of my husband, but he has good taste and introduced me to a lot of things. And one of those things that he also introduced me to is the Slayers series. Drink her in. She's beautiful. So this one has a sassy sorceress protagonist. It's kind of hard. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just going to read the description on the back because this one has one. In a time of fantasy and magic, a band of misfits stumbles from adventure to adventure and occasionally saves the world. Lena Inverse, a spunky sorceress with a penchant for destruction, is joined by a dashingly dim swordsman, Gowry, driven young Amelia, and stoic Zelgadis on a journey spanning the realms. In lands where darkness reigns, they will be light. In lands where doom threatens peace, they shall be saviors. Yes, when evil arises, Lena and her ragtag crew action for the forces of good, and if fame, fortune, and food should fall their way, even better. They're heroes, they're rogues, they're just looking to make a buck. They're the Slayers. It's so good. All the fun, all the cool magic sequences, all of it. Just go watch the Slayers. And if you've ever watched this, because nobody I know has ever watched the Slayers, so you need to let me know. Have you seen the Slayers? Because I need people to talk to me about it. And oh my god, Naga. So I'll put a picture of her. And she has this laugh, which kills me every time. I used to just do it because it annoys the crap out of my husband. She does this like, woo. I love it so much. Oh god. Okay, anyways. Let's not just turn this into a gush fest specifically for the Slayers. Then this one is a repeat from my favorite manga series. And so that has to be, come on, Sailor Moon. And then especially like the old like dubbed version where Usagi, that's what she's called in like the manga and the like Japanese versions of the anime, her name is Serena and her boyfriend is Darian, and she literally she's supposed to be in like junior high, but she has this voice where she sounds like she's like a 40-year-old whiskey drinking streetwalker, if you will. So she does this like, oh Daria. I love it so much. It's so bad. So like there's two different versions of the dub, kind of funnily enough. So there's like a newer version where it's not that, but then like the old OG like 90s dubbed version where they changed the names of the characters and stuff. I love it so much. It is so good. And if you somehow don't know what Sailor Moon is, again, where have you been? What are you doing with your life? But it is a group of junior high girls that are basically reincarnations of these ancient princesses who guard our galaxy from outside malevolent forces. And so there are different arcs. There are 5 different arcs. It starts with fighting Queen Beryl. You get to find out some of the history of what happened to their kingdom, and they get to find out some about their past lives. And it's just, and the transformations. If I can find like a little gif of one, I'll put it wherever. But like, oh my god, yes. And then again, talk about like killer theme songs, like the Sailor Moon US version theme song. Fighting evil by moonlight. Come on. Winning love by daylight. Never running from a real fight. Come on. You know. If you watch this, I'm just embarrassing myself all kinds today. But Sailor Moon, so good. And then they recently did Sailor Moon Crystal. So Sailor Moon Crystal is very different from the 90s anime. So the 90s anime was kind of its own deal. Sailor Moon Crystal much more closely follows the story in the manga itself. And so it's much more to the point. It cuts out all of that like 90s, early 2000s anime style filler and just is the direct story. So you could also check this out. The animation is beautiful. It has up through arc 4. So there's 5 arcs in Sailor Moon. They just haven't done Sailor Stars, which... Sailor Stars. There's one attack in particular. I'll put it on the screen. It's hilarious. I think it's like star, gentle, uterus. And so I'm always like curious, like, do they throw their uterus at people as like an attack? How does that work? I don't know. It's very... I'm just... Okay, anyways, Sailor Moon is great. And then the last one that I'll talk about today is Fullmetal Alchemist. So there are 2 different versions of the Fullmetal Alchemist anime. There is Fullmetal Alchemist, which came out first, which starts following the story arc as it exists in the manga. However, it outpaced the manga, and so they kind of started doing their own thing, but they did it so well. It is so good. And then there's the second version of the anime called Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which more directly follows the story of the manga because they waited until the manga was finished and then finished the story. I personally, I don't know if it's nostalgia or that it's less tied to like the military aspects of the world, but I prefer the original Fullmetal Alchemist over Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Again, if you need to chase me with pitchforks, at least poke me in the butt, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but it is so good. It is, I mean, this anime has some of the like most haunting scenes I have ever seen in my entire life, while also mixed with like really cute, wholesome, fun humor. So basically, in this world, we have, oh my god, why is my brain failing me? We have the Elric brothers. It's Alphonse and Edward. And they, early on, their mom died off page, and they tried to use alchemy to bring her back, which is like a forbidden no-no against the rules of magic and laws of this world. And so when they tried this, Edward lost his arm, and Alphonse lost his entire body, and has had his soul sealed onto a suit of armor. And so their whole quest is to try to see if they can regain the body parts that they have lost. And oh my god, like, it is haunting. This is a very, like, militaristic society, so they do get, like, tapped because they are very strong alchemists to be involved in the military goings-on. But then the story, at least in this original one, expands beyond the military. The Brotherhood one stays much more focused with the military. But, oh my god, Nina haunts me to this day, and if you know, you know. If you don't, go watch it, cry, and then come back and talk to me because it is amazing. But I will stop there before I just keep going on a gush fest. Those are 5 of my favorite anime that I have ever seen. What are some of your favorites? And if there are any like amazing anime that I have missed on this list, please go ahead and sound off in the comments down below and let me know if there's something that I should check out, because I'm always looking for a new show to binge watch. So other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you like this video, give it a like. All of those good things. If you want to see more of me, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!